2. It's rounds 13 and 14 qualifying at Great British Racing Circuit, Silverstone. So as you can see, we have 15 drivers ready for qualifying. They're all in the pits at the moment as time has just started, and we do have our first drivers leaving the pits. That looks like a Uni Vitosu heading out on track already. Correct Savant is actually already out there as well. So as these are doing the warm lap, I'll introduce you to the circuit itself. Okay, so Silverstone is in Great Britain. It is the home of British motorsport. It has 18 turns at 10 to the right and 8 to the left. It covers 3.66 miles, and the longest straight is 1,034 meters. That's a bit of a length straight, and that is the hanger straight. There is DRS zones on the Wellington straight and the hanger straight, which are the two longest parts of the track. There's also a speed trap at the end of the hanger straight, so we can see how fast our drivers are going at that point. So we can see that Correct Savant is going through Maggots and Beckets at the moment onto the hanger straight, and they'll go around Stowe, Vale Corner, round the club chicane and back into the pit straight. Now what I'll do now is I'll just run through our current standings at the moment. So at the top we have LH44 racing for art, and he is on 189 points. He is not getting caught. We then have got Quad-Duty racing for Prima Racing. He has got 121 points. He is only 19 points ahead of Rainer, who has got 102 points. We have Magnus, who's not racing with us today. He's on 87 points, so we could actually see that he may drop down a little here. We have Dragon on Speed. Now I've seen Dragon on Speed lately, and he is getting quick. He won the last race, which was the sprint race at Austria, and he is on 74 points. We have Apex following right close behind with 71 points. Everybody else after that they are behind 55, 48, 41. So these racers at this point have to be putting in some serious shifts to make any damage to the racers above. So we are just past the halfway mark. So we could be seeing either a reverse of the race grid, or we could be seeing that a bigger lead being exposed by the drivers at the top of the league. So we do have Correct Savant, who is on his flying lap. He is on the hanger straight again. Round Stowe, coming into the Vale chicane. Nice and tidy. This is the area where people tend to go over the lines and can lose their time. Round Club Corner onto the home straight, and that is a time of 140.8. That is a great time by Correct Savant, but I'm sure he will be scraping some time off that in a few laps time. We have a yellow flag in sector 3, probably someone coming off the track at one point, but that seems to be cleared very quickly. So I can see Carter coming down the hanger straight there. Quad-Duty is at the loop, and another time set by Harris of a 141.3. Nice time by Harris, and Drew has to come up with a new fast lap because he has gone off track and has made that time invalid. Let's see who's next across the line. It looks like LH44 is just about to start his flying lap, but I do believe that time might be invalid for going off at a corner in the last section. Quad-Duty is He is in the final sector. Coming to the Stoke corner. Quad Duty is one of our top racers, so we are bound to see a good time from him with the Rrl chicane, and he cuts it nicely. But that time is invalid, I can see, because he has been off the track at some point, so that will not count. We have Maverick, Sizen, and Rrl is now starting his flying lap. Hopefully he'll be able to get a good time on here. We have Harris going back into the pits. Carter P, let's see where he is. He is coming up to Stowe, so that's 10, 13. Now onto the Rrl chicane, which is our left, right. Round Club corner. And that time has not been counted. So we have times of a 140.4 by correct savant. Maverick has posted a time of 140.7. So these times are quite tight. There's less than a second between those three at this very moment. So LH44, let's see. So he's at the loop at the moment, and at the loop that's tier 4 going round to the Rrl chicane. Quad Duty, that time will not register for Quad Duty because he has gone off again. Devil's Nightmare. Now, Devil's Nightmare is another new driver. We'll keenly see how he does today. He is on a flying lap, and we're going to ride on board with him. He's not using as much track as he could do. There's a 142.0. I'm sure if he uses the track more effectively, he will bound to take off more time. He could get faster through some of those corners. And it looks like the correct savant and the Maverick have all posted in quicker times. The correct savant on a 140.0, the Maverick on a 140.5. Carter P 141.0, Sizen with a 141.1, and Harris with a 141.3. That's some quick times there, gentlemen. Jason Woodhouse on his flying lever, looks of it. It seems to be taking it easy, I think. Oh, he's invalid lap, so he will be looking to recharge those batteries and get back round on another fast lap. Taking care of those tyres there. We have LH44, which again looks like there's another invalid lap. Rain is in the pits, Apex in the pits, Kyra is on an out lap. He's gone past the old straight and he has gone off the track, but it hasn't invalidated this time. Through Maggots and Beckett's, this is probably the hardest section, and correct savant was off the track there, so hopefully he will give a bit of space. Jason Woodhouse, Devil's Nightmare going round Club corner. Has he improved? He has not improved on his time. He is on the hard tyre though, which is well, Harris's time is actually, his current time is on from the hard tyre, so that's actually a good time for a hard tyre. He's got it to the top of CGP2 for that time. Jason Woodhouse off track at the loop, and that time will be invalid, so hopefully he'll be able to recharge batteries and give it one more blast on the track. Same with LH44. He is gone past entry. He's on the Wellington straight, taking this extra caution, definitely charging his batteries up there. It's going quite slow, just allowing that to happen, allowing Jim Strav to go past. Jim Strav is on an out lap. So I've just seen a time from Quad Duty of a 1:39.6. I did say he was quick, and he has proven that. He's going back into the pit. I think he'd be happy with that, but he will be out later on in the session. And Harris has posted in a new quick time of a 1:39.999. It's just, I mean, it's just like the smallest amount below 140. That is a fantastic lap by Harris. Let's have a look, see if we've got any more. I wonder if Rrl is going to have the chance to take it, do a new fast lap, or would he be going into pit to see if he can get a fresh set of tyres on for this qualified session? LH44 taking it gentle around the corners. So what I'll do now is I'll go through our drivers in a moment. I'll read out the times. We'll just wait for drivers such as Rayner to finish his lap and Jim Sharp and see where they land, and then I'll go through the order. So with this being round 13 and 14, we are looking to have a moment where people realise that this is starting to be less and less races to gain points. So these drivers that are all lagging a little bit behind will be putting in that extra shift to make a big difference for the running. And we just had a posted race time from Rayner of a 1:39.0. Harris improved his time again with a 1:39.4. Fantastic laps, guys. That is amazing times. And Quad Duty will be back out soon to see if you can take that time back. And we got it's like. So I've just been informed that we have rain coming into the session. You see the dark clouds are gathering, and that's a possibility of rain within the feature race too. So it's going to make everything a lot more interesting. So we're just going to run through again of our qualifying times. We have Rayner in provisional pole with a 1:39.0. We have Harris on a 1:39.4. Duty on a 1:39.6. He is on a flying lap now, I believe. Correct Savant on a 1:40.0. Maverick on a 1:40.4. Sizen on Carter on a 1:41.0. Tyson on a 1:41.1. Drew on a 1:41.6. Devil's Nightmare on a 1:42.0. And Jim Staff on a 1:49.5. And we have Benjamin Cardiff jumping with a 1:49.1. He is 1 million behind Tyson. That is the closest you can ever be to someone. It's fantastic lap times coming. A nice little range between, you have your front runners there with the 1:39s. We do have a few in the middle with 1:41s and 1:42s. Jim Sharp with a slow 1:49.5 there, and that's I know he will not be happy with that. He will be onto the softs, getting back out there to see if he can get a better time. And we're going to go and see who we've got available to us at the moment. I just want to see if Rayner does improve on his time. I don't think he is. He's been a little bit slow in his last few corners there. Oh, just a little bit quicker. That's a 1:39.027. A 0.26 taken off. Harris coming out for us another lap. Quad duty on the Wellington straight. He is up by 5/100. Thank you, Carter. We've gone past the old pit straight. Heading into Maggots and Beckett. Oh, sorry, no, I said a lie there. He has basically just gone through the start-finish straight, and he's gone through the loop and now into Aintree, going down the Wellington straight. We have Carter going over the finish line. We have not improved his time there. Let's see how he does on this lap. Sizing on an out lap. I'm sure he's going to be building up the heat in those tyres. But there are quite a few drivers there packing up on that corner. Jason Woodhouse is going a bit slow round the loop and into Aintree. He has this lap is invalid, so he will be looking to charge that battery to go for a second fast lap. And it has come up and say that he has retired from the session, so he will be pulling over to the side. Jason Woodhouse pulling off. Oh, we've got the Devil's Nightmare looking to improve on that time he had previously. Nice line through the loop here. Onto Aintree. And now he's down the Wellington straight. Let's see if he's improving on his time. He is improved by half a second. Now let's say if he takes half a second off each section, he will be up in the mix with the front runners. He'll be looking at a 1:40.5 if that is if that's the pace he is actually matching. Come off a little bit there. He must be ran a bit too hard through there, or maybe the angle wasn't quite right. He's now in Maggots and Beckett. A little bit coasting through some of the corners. Taking it a little bit easier, thinking maybe he's not got the right line at the moment. But he is up by a second. Like I said, that's his consistent. He is taking half a second off each point. He is already at this moment on a 1:41, so that will put him up above Sizing if he carries on with this pace. Through the Vale chicane, now this always catches people out. You will see that some people may get warnings for cutting that corner, round club corner, and that is a fantastic lap. That's a 1:40.6 dead lap. That's put him up to 8, provisionally 8, right in the mix with the front runners. So I'm going to just jump down to Apex and watch Apex go through, because he is coming to Maggots and Beckett. I do believe Maggots and Beckett is the toughest part of this course. So if it is raining on the feature race, we will be looking at a whole different racing strategy. Obviously everybody will be on wets, and that would mean that everybody would be looking at doing a very similar racing strategy. It would be all about driver ability. It won't be much in the hands of strategy. Maybe when you pit, where you can get the undercut or manage to stretch out on the overcut. Okay, so I'm going to run through again from top to bottom on our times now that we've got 9 minutes left. We have Reno with 139.0, Harris on a 139.4, Quadruti on a 139.6, LH44 on a 139.8. Great lap there by LH. He's finally got one in. Oh, and he's got a bit quicker about it. Oh, 139.5. Quadruti 139.6. Correct Savant on a 140.0. Maverick on a 140.4. Fantastic lap by Maverick. Benjamin Cardiff on a 140.5. Devil's Nightmare on a 140.5. He is 5/100ths behind Benjamin. That's a good time that for his debut race. Carter P on a 140.9. Sizen on a 141.1. Drew on a 141.6. Jason Woodhouse on a 142.0. And Jim Staff on a 149.5. And Cairo has points a fantastic lap of a 140.3. Let's see what Apex does. He has clipped that corner. He didn't get marked off. That's fantastic. So let's see what time he pushes in. And that is a 140.4. This is, you couldn't get any tighter than what we've got right now in the middle pack. There is 1 second between 6th and 11th, and that's all. You can even stretch it a little bit and add in an extra second for the other two drivers. No big difference. Another 2 seconds you could add just over 2 seconds between 5th and 14th. Fantastic tight pack racing. We have Stead 6 who is on course now. He is going through Maggott and Beckett. Yeah, this will be a warm-up lap to warm up his tires, and we've seen LH44 just driving alongside to keep it out Stead's line. Didn't want to ruin the race for him. And we've got Dragon on Speed who is in. Let's see if he can get out on course and get into the race. Oh, sorry, get into qualifying for the race. Is anybody else who's out? We've got Devil's Nightmare who has actually retired from the session. I think he's happy with the time he's got, which is a very good standard of a time. He is really in the mix of it. We've got Carter who looks like he's on an outlap. Carter is at Village. Go man into the loop. Through Aintree and onto Valentine Street. What people don't, just a little unknown fact for most people, is that Aintree is actually, the corner Aintree is actually named after a previous British racing circuit at Aintree, which is now the home of British horse racing. They did used to have a circuit there, but that's no longer there anymore, and it is all within, it used to be where the grounds were for the racing, where the racing circuit course is now, or the horse racing circuit course for the site. Just a little bit of a random fact knowledge for you. So as you can see on Maggott and Beckett, like Maggott and Beckett used to be a long sweeping chicane. They changed it into the S-bends to encompass a bit more challenge and a bit more competition, packing cars in together. And as you can see on the screen now, we have got a bit of rain. Now, the circuit has not saturated yet, so which means if Dragon on Speed can get out, he might be able to post in a time. Let's see, any changes to the times. I can't see anything for us right now that's changed. Stead 6 with a 140.33. That's a fantastic time for Stead. He puts him right there, but with Cairo, that is, you can't really get a tighter pack of racers here. Harris is going for another lap. He has backed out of that one because he has run wide on the corner. Cairo has retired from the session. He's probably happy with that lap. I will be honest, with them all being so tight, like sizing as well, as all tight races, this is going to be tough to move up the pack. And we can see Stead 6. He hasn't improved on his time. He's just short by 0.03 of a second. If he managed to get that, all he would have been doing would be got a little bit faster. He would just be pushing himself up 1 or 2 spaces. He would have to take a big chunk off to make any significant difference to get into the top 4. We'd have to take nearly a second. Maverick has retired from the session. Maverick has got a good midfield time. He is a fantastic racer, and I'm sure he will be battling up. Quadruti has left the session. James Shaft is retired from the session. I think James Shaft is quite happy to race from the back. He does like the challenge of battling through the pack. He has fantastic race pace, brilliant technique, absolutely outstanding awareness. So, an all-round great racer. Craig Savant is retired from the session, quite happy with his 5th. With the rain, once you've done the time on the dry, the rain really does not help. So the chances of you getting any faster is slim to none, unless you are an absolute genius in the wet. So any drivers listening, please give us a thumbs up, or subscribe to our Multi Racing League to see what other race leagues that we do cover. If you've got anything to say, or anybody that you think is going to win, just drop it into the comments and we'll see if we can get if you're right or not. So we are coming up to the last minute of qualifying, and I do think a lot of drivers are winding down because of the rain. We've got Apex, who is going out on the race. He's going out seeing if he can get any more time off. Or maybe he's just checking to see what the difference would be between his regular race time and his qualifying time in the rain. He's just short of 1 second off his pace at the moment, going through sectors 1 and 2, and he's straight into the pits. Exactly what I would have done, straight in the pits. If you're not making the time, then there's no point pushing the car around for another few laps. And I do not. We got to the end of our qualifying session. I don't think we have any. We have Dragon on speed, who's on course at the moment. Can he manage to pit Jim Shaft and take that spot? It will move him up one spot. So that's the end of qualifying. In a moment we will be starting a feature race, and I will go through the starting order. We've got Reno, Harris, LH44, Quadruti, Correct Savant, Cairo, Stead, the Maverick, Apex, Benjamin, Devil's Nightmare, Carter, Sizen, Drew, Jason Woodhouse, Dragon on Speed, and Jim Joseph. Dragon on Speed managed to get 142.1 in the rain with soft tyres. That's fantastic. And if it was dry, I'm sure he would have got a bit further up. I am going to go through our constructor standings. So at the moment we have the Art Grand Prix team with 310 points, Prima Racing on 208, and Campos Racing on 102. The top two are not catchable within this race, but we are halfway through, so it could change any down the line. And we are waiting for the race to start. We have got rain, so all drivers should be on the wet tyres. We have Dams in 4th with 89 points. They could take over Campos on a good if they have a couple of good races here today. MP Motorsport on 73, Univertosi on 55, Carlin on 42, HWA on 41, Sauer Jr. on 7, and Trident yet to score a point. Now, anything can happen on these races, as anybody knows when they watch whatever F2 racing league they do watch. They know that because all the cars are very much the same, it's just down to the team management of that car that makes it different. This tyre strategy, which goes out the window when it's wet. It's all about the driver, whether the driver can keep the traction under control on the wet, whether they get the good right racing line. So here we go with the formation lap. With the formation lap, what I will do, I will ride on board with Rena and go through all the corners. So we're going through Abbey at the moment, which is right hander, onto Farm, which is a left hander here. There's a nice sweeping left. You should not be braking here. Into the village now. The village is a tightening right hander, going into the loop, which is a very sharp left turn, pushing into a shallowing left turn of Aintree. As I said before, Aintree is named after the race course. Now we're on to the Wellington Straight. The Wellington Straight will have DRS in the drive, with it being wet. No DRS. We are now into Brooklands, which is a long left-hander, getting really tight. Into Luffield, which is a very, very tight right-handed hairpin. Not as tight as probably Monaco, but it's still quite tight. You've got to be careful on the exit. On this is the old the old pit straight. This has not been used for GP racing for over 10 years. I will look into that and get the right date for you. Now they're into Woolcote. Now this part here, this is the very first pit straight. This is now onto Cops and the Maggots Beckett's. Sorry, go back a bit. No, we are now in the Beckett's part of Maggots Beckett's. Into Chapel, which is just before the Hanger Straight. Hanger Straight is the longest straight of the race. This is where, if you've got a good exit from Chapel, you will fly down here and probably pass any competitors. Approaching Stowe Corner. Now Stowe Corner it's that corner every time wants to be positioned. It's just before the Vale Chicane and just after the Hanger Straight. That's where you'll see some late lunges, some diving in, because the corner is quite forgiving, but you're coming off a very fast straight. Now into the Vale Chicane. Now Vale Chicane is very tight. You cannot be hitting those inside corners too hard, because the stewards do not like it and you will be slapped with a penalty. into Club Corner. Club Corner is named after the racing club. It's right outside the clubhouse, so it's kind of there. So now we are gearing up into the grid. All the drivers should have the tyres warmed up, tested their brakes, worked out where they're going to get traction, where they're not going to get traction, and we should be seeing the lights hit on in any moment now. All drivers geared up, ready, poised, waiting for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. They're out and away we go, guys, and there's straight away good traction from Harris, but it's still not enough to beat Rayner. Rayner is leading in. I will drop down a few because this corner is quite important to see what happens. There is a few knocks, some drivers going a little bit wide after a few bumps and grinds. Some cars going wide. Correct Savant has stayed off, very respectful. Correct Savant time, 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. That would be a knock-on effect from a few wheel bashing at turn 1. So he's dropped right down to 16. He's now moving up slightly, and it's another car off. And who's got off at the back? Jason Woodhouse. That's unfortunate. Jason Woodhouse is a good driver. He is very aggressive. He does like to take chances. Sometimes he will, sometimes he don't, unfortunately. And we have Quad Duty made a move on LH44. Now this is a wheel-to-wheel fight between these two. These two will not give in. They will not do it. They will be battling all the way through to the very end of this race. They are fantastic competitive races, and we can see that Harris has actually got the lead, and he has got a bit of a gap, a 1.2 second gap to Rayner, and we've got a flag in sector 2. Now that's Mackett and Beckett. That would have been someone just running a bit wide on that corner. Let's have a look to see. Maverick's gone off course. Now Maverick's on a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Now obviously these drivers here, they are pushing the boundaries, they are pushing each other. If they get penalties, we can look at it, they might get removed if they deem that it was unjust that they got them. So if you're listening in, drivers, make sure you got your evidence ready, because we could be taking that time penalty off you. And the fastest lap for, right now is a 2 minute 1 by the Univitosi of Harris. So we have a bit of adjustment around, and we can't see exactly what the times are because everything's changing. Bear with us while we look into this. This will be a graphic issue with the lobby, and that's not really much of an issue. We will keep up, because I still believe that Harris is still in first. Yes, Harris in first, followed by Rayner, followed by Quadruti, LH44, Stead 6, Apex, Benjamin Cardiff, Devil's Nightmare, Sison, Carter, Jim Shaft, Craig Savant, Drew, Dragon on Speed. Cairo Dragon on Speed is battling with Cairo, which is fantastic to see. Maverick and Jason Woodhouse all competing. Let's see where our next battles are. I do believe that it's going to be between these two at the front, which is going to be Quadruti and Rayner. Quadruti closing in, Rayner closing in on Harris, so the front is going to be battle. Apex is so tight to Stead. It's great to see. Let's pull up some information. Let's see. We all know they're on wet tyres. Let's see the position change. So we can see that Cairo has dropped down 8 points, but he is on a recovery drive. He will be bouncing back, and so is Maverick. Biggs moving up are Jim Shaft is up by 5 places. Jim Shaft did start way back down at the back, and he has clawed his way up. He started 16th. He's now on at 11th. That's fantastic driving by Jim Shaft. We have Sison, who's gone up 4 places. As of that, they're our biggest movers up. Correct Savant and Cairo have dropped down 7, where Maverick has dropped down 8. but we will be looking into those incidents if we can to see how they happened and whether the penalties that they Correct Savant and Maverick were just. So Drew has made a move on Dragon on Speed. Let's see how that's panning out, because I feel Maverick and Dragon on Speed, what's happened? He's just dropped down 2 places. He's running wide. He ran wide and he had to give up his space. That's unfortunate. Dragon on Speed. He did start dead last, so he's up 1 place. So the front 4 battlers are very tightly packed together. Just over a second between them all. Am I seeing that right? It's LH44 is sniffing the exhaust of Call of Duty. That's absolutely amazing. Amazing racing. Just say that. Right, so obviously no one's made any stops, no one's had any wing damage, so actually have to go into get repaired, so which means all our drivers have been as clean as we possibly can. All on wet tyres, they're all at the same time. And the penalties are 10 seconds for the cut in the corners. Obviously this could be due to the being knocked off the race course or just losing control, but I'm sure that there'll be a good reason. And we've got Jim Straff, who's actually moved up. Jim Straff is now in 10th. Oh, he's back down. Seison's back up. Jim Straff. There's a battle and a half going on down there. Seison went up the course. Correct Savant's moved up, gaining more places back. Is Carter going to make the best of this? He's a bit far off behind. Jim Straff in the last point place. Have a look and see if there's any more battles. Stead 6 he is right behind Apex. So if Apex makes a little slip, I'm sure Stead would be right there to make him pay for it. LH44 roughly half a second behind Quadruti, who's half a second behind Reno, who's about half a second behind Harris. So 2 seconds between the front 4 racers. Let's have a look at Harris. Let's see what his section time is for sections 1 and 2. That is a 124.9. Fastest lap at the moment is Quadruti with a 155.9. Obviously this is in the wet with wet tyres, so it won't be anywhere near what qualifying pace would be. But there is a nice range of different speeds up and down. With Kyra being the fastest at the back, 7. So Devil's Nightmare has he gone off track? Devil's Nightmare. He has. He's gone off track. Must have lost traction and he has lost quite a few places. He's only down 3 places from where he started, but he was a bit higher up than this. This is now promoted. Correct Savant into the final points place. Great start on recovery drive from Correct Savant. James Straff up 7 places into 9th. Carter up 4 places into 8th. Benjamin up 3 places into 7th. And Steaders up 1 place into 6th. Apex up 4 places into 5th. LH44 is down 1 place. Quadruti's up, so there's only then 2 swapped over, and the same is swapped over between Rayna and Harris. Rayna very tight, close behind Harris. Less than 2 tenths, 1 tenth. Oh, it's so tight, so close. Will he get him on the Wellington straight? He's just dropped back a bit with these corners. Now they're onto the Hangar straight. Hangar straight being the longest. Has he got the pace to close him, or is it correct Savant with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings? That's leaving the track limits, guys. That's exceeding the track limits. And then you can see there that Harris has went wide there, and it's opened the door for Rayner, but he's got the inside line. Harris has managed to battle his way back, and there's a battle between LH44 and Quadruti. Both drive. All four of these drivers are very tight. Any one of these four could win this. This will go right down to the wire. This might actually also be down to who pits first. They all pit at the same time. It's not going to be much of a change. LH44 officially got it, and Quadruti's back in fourth. So we had a yellow flag, but it may just be that someone just went a little bit wide on the corner. We've got Maverick sitting down at 9th for correct Savant, going into the pit. He was not happy with those tyres. So fresh wet tyres for correct Savant. He may have had to get a fresh wing. I will check that in a moment. Maverick's been in the pits as well. Let's have a look to see if we can see front wing damage for Maverick. It's just a tyre change for correct Savant. He must have been losing traction. He must have flat spotted. But if we have a look, it's exceeding track limits for correct Savant and Maverick. Size and corner cutting's got a 5-second penalty. Multiple warnings for Carter. As you can see, it's exceeding track limits. Correct Savant exceeding track limits. Multiple warnings for Jason Woodhouse for exceeding track limits. And Devil's Nightmare again exceeding track limits. Now Devil's Nightmare gets into the points. He will be scoring the first points for Trident. And the same goes for Drew. The two teammates are behind each other, so they should be trying their best to work together to get themselves. And we've got Devil's Nightmare going into the pits. Is this the crossover phase where the track is getting a bit lighter, where they can go into slicks? I do not think so. On another set of softs. Is this a 3-stop race? Sorry, a 2-stop race? Are they going to stop twice? Are they going to have 3 sets of wet tyres that they are using for this race? So we'll go back up to the front. I can see that LH44 has dropped back a bit, and so is Quadruti. The gaps are opening up at the front there. Rayner is still within half a second of Harris. Rayner's not going to give up until he's got that spot back. They are close. That with the defending from Harris, he is actually slowing Rayner down, which might give the chance for the following pack to catch up. As you can see already, they've cut down into that breaching that 1 second gap. So with 2 tenths, we're waiting for this move from Rayner. He is so close. He is making the launch, and he's gone into the pits. Rayner has gone into the pits. He could be going for the undercut. This is allowing Quadruti, LH44, Apex to get that chance of taking the win, taking the lead. But he's going to have fresh set of wet tyres here. He may have some open air Drew's gone into the pits as well. So we have, Rrl is the leader of drivers who have stopped. Drivers who haven't stopped is Harris, Quadruti, LH44, Apex 41, Stead 6, Benjamin Cardiff, Carter P, Jim Strav, Dragon on Speed, Sizen and Jason Woodhouse. All the rest have made their one stop at least. Have they got enough tyres to last into the end, or would some of these have to come in again nearer to the latter part of the race? It looks like Drew has had to go back into the pits. Oh no, this is when he went in the pits the first time. He has dropped down from further forward to get into there. It looked like he was already been round once and had to pit again. I do apologise. So how old are these tyres? All the front runners from 1 to 9 have been on these tyres for 7 laps. Are they hitting the moment where they are starting to wear thin? And it looks like there's a battle at the very, very front. Harris with a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. And it looks like some of our drivers have gone into pit. Quadruti has taken the lead. Harris is in the pit. LH44 is in the pit. Apex is in the pit. Quadruti staying out for another lap. It will be interesting to see where he ends up. If he pits this lap, has the undercut worked? Has Rrl managed this pit strategy perfectly? He is coming in, and he's got in front of Harris. The pit strategy has worked. He has just managed to get in front of Harris. That was fantastic. Now, Quadruti has got a substantial lead. He goes down the old pit straight into Cop's Corner, into Maggots, or Maggots and Beckett's, the S-bends. That is Chapel. He's gone through there onto the Hanger Straight. Thunders down around Stowe Corner. But is he going into the pits? He is. He's gone into the pits. Now we're going to ride on board with Rrl. Let's see if Rrl is coming down the Hanger Straight. He is the leader of the cars who have pitted. He's coming to the Vale chicane, about Club Corner. Quadruti has been released from his pit. He is out. Rrl with the fastest lap. I don't think the undercut's going to work for Quadruti. No, it's not. Let's see where Quadruti comes out of. He's behind Harris, but more importantly, he is in front of LH44. And they resume their wheel-to-wheel battle. Quadruti on those fresher tyres will get an advantage here. So we have James Strav sitting in third at the moment, still needing to pit. Carter in second, still need a pit. And Stead in lead currently but still need to pit. These drivers will need to pit very soon if they want to make the best of their next next tyres. Harris with another 3-second penalty. Now Harris being a front runner, these penalties are not going to be helpful to hold those positions. And instead has decided not to pit. Has he got enough to go through the whole race without pitting? Now, I know it says that you're meant to pit, but I do believe that it does not count when it comes down to wet tyres. So you might be able to stretch these tyres to last the whole race. Maybe not. But I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't pit until right near the end. Maybe he's waiting for the track to dry up a little bit so he can go onto the slicks and be a bit quicker than the drivers on wet tyres. But I don't foresee that happening at this moment. Rayner is 8.1 seconds or 8.3 seconds, and there is someone who's got off at section 1. That would be anywhere around the loop. A lot of drivers slipping there, not a lot of traction on those bends. We've got Dragon on Speed, who is closing in on Devil's Nightmare. Devil's Nightmare is 13 seconds off Correct Savant. We have Jason Woodhouse still yet to pit, who is less than a second behind Cairo, who is roughly a second behind Benjamin Cardiff. So 3 drivers are quite close. LH44. I think he could smell the rear end of Good Duty there, and I think he's liking it because he's still there. There's a fantastic freeway battle between Harris, Good Duty and LH44. Rayner and Harris is a bit further on. Rayner is flying away from Harris, opening a lot of gap. So who's going to be making the next big move? Is it going to be Quadriti on Harris, or is it going to be LH44 on Quadriti, or maybe LH44 on both of them if he gets a good run? So Correct Savant is sitting in 11th. They managed to get past Jason Woodhouse. Jason Woodhouse is on old tyres. They are 11 laps old. Mavericks on softs. Is this the moment for the crossover? This is where people will be watching to see how these tyres perform. Are they catching up with the or is he making faster laps? Is he catching them up? It's questions that Maverick could be answering for drivers such as Stead, Carter, Jibstraff. Is at the point where they should be on the slicks to make the most of the last few laps. Devil Nightmare with another 3-second penalty. But Jason Woodhouse is battling with Devil's Nightmare. Oh, Jason went wide there. He's slipping all over the track. This is your tyres, my friend. Your tyres are dying out there. DRS is enabled and he spun out. He has clipped his teammate. Jason Woodhouse with a puncher by the looks of it. Is that a puncher? Quadriti with a 3-second penalty. Yeah, that's a puncher for Jason Woodhouse. Drew got tangled up with Jason Woodhouse. That's the Colin. Look, Colin is snaking at the back there. Rayner with the fastest lap of 154.2. This is definitely there for the taking. It's still anybody's race with Jason Woodhouse with the puncher. He will be slowing down. He will be marking up places as yellow flagged areas with that puncher. He has got a long way to go to get back to that pit. And he's spun out again. Can't he get back to the pits before the front running battle gets there? It's the front running battle. Arena is going through the pack with the old tyres on. Is anybody going to... Oh, there is Jim Strav has gone into the pit, got on soft. Apex is on the soft tyres. Correct Savant has gone onto the soft tyres. Dragon on speed will be should be on the soft tyres. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he's gone back onto hard. Oh, Sizen's gone onto the hard tyre. He's gone back onto the wets. Devil Nightmare on the wets. They've only just got come out the pits. Drew, what's Drew got? Drew's gone onto wets. DRS has been enabled, and yet drivers are still putting wet tyres on. Do they believe that they don't have the traction with the softs? With the soft tyres or the hard tyres? Rayner is closing that gap to Carter, who is still yet to pit. He will inherit first place if he stays within 3 seconds of Carter, but he wants that race win. We are on the second to last lap, and this is going to be an interesting finish. I will switch over to the leader timescale to see whether Quadruti as well could get 3 seconds off Carter P. Oh no, but Quadruti does have a penalty himself, which means he could lose third. So we've got Carter, who is coming around Luffield into Woodcote, down the old pit straight. And Rayner is 1.1 second behind him. Rayner has 1.5 laps to go through, and we've got Devil's Nightmare has picked up another penalty, and he's retired from the session. Speed in the pit lane, retired from the session. That's unfortunate to see for our debut driver, but this does happen. So Sizen has made a move on Dragon on Speed. Dragon on Speed is in the pit though, so we are expected to... And he's gone in the softs. Rayner is 0.3, sorry, of a second behind Carter. Carter on 13 lap old tyres, Rayner on 5 lap old tyres. They are both on wet tyres, and Carter has pushed these tyres right to the limit. 14 laps he's done on these tyres, and we're on the last lap. Has he got enough to hold off? Rayner? He is slipping. Jim Strav with the fastest lap of 1:49.6. Jim Strav is sitting at 7th at the moment, and he is closing that gap down to Benjamin Cardiff. And he's done it. He's made that move, and he's made it stick. And puts up some clear air in front of him. Jim Strav has got 6. Rayner has passed Carter on the outside of Brooklands. Holds the insides of Luffield. Has made the move stick. But what about Quadruti? Is Quadruti going to be able to do it? He has got fresher tyres as well. He's laid them last longer than the previous tyres, longer than Rayner, and he is basically sniffing the rear end of Carter P, and he's made the move, and he's made the stick. So LH44 is 1.6 seconds behind Rayner, with the two drivers in front of him having penalties of 3 seconds. That automatically puts LH44 up into second, but that's not enough for LH44. He's gone for that position and he's taken it off Carter. Now Carter and Harris have both got 6-second penalties. Does Jim Straff have enough in him, in those soft tyres, and long enough in this lap, to close that down? Jason Woodhouse with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Unfortunate. Let's have a look. James Straff crosses the line and has taken 5th. He's been boosted with the penalties that Harris has put on. So the finish has gone with Rayner, LH44, Quadruti, Carter P, Jim Straff, Harris, Stead, Apex, Benjamin Cardiff, Cairo, Correct Savant, Sizen, Dragon on Speed, Through, the Maverick and Jason Woodhouse. Some fantastic racing between the front four. Carter managing one set of tyres for the whole race is unheard of. Fantastic effort. Just unfortunate the tyres did start wearing away and allowed Rayner, LH44 and Quadruti to take those places. Missing out on the podium by 5.5 seconds. 6 of those seconds were penalties. So get your driver of the day into the gear group chat. Let us know what you think. Personally, I do think Jim Straff did have a fantastic race, but Carter P has to be recognised for that outstanding drive on one set of tyres. And that is the end of round 13. We are going on to round 14 in a moment, which will have the front 8 reversed. So overall, fantastic race to watch. And a few collisions in the first corner. Seen Correct Savant pick up a 10-second penalty for going wide. We did have another driver going wide further down, which I do believe that was Maverick. Devil's Nightmare had pulled out for whatever reason. He believed that his car was not managing to keep up. Have we got a Drew on the Trident? We're hoping for a Trident to score some points. Both those drivers were racing for Trident were almost in there, but drivers such as Cairo, Benjamin Cardiff and Apex instead, and Jim Straff wanted those points a little bit more and pushed hard to get into them. So now we're on to the sprint race. The sprint race is a little bit shorter, same course. The front 10 drivers have been reversed, and it looks like it's a dry day, guys. It looks like it's going to be a dry race. So those tyres that they saved from yesterday for not using them are going to pay in dividends for this race. I would definitely go for the hard compound because it will last the race, but some drivers may select the soft to get that good start and then move onto the hard. A pit stop on this course will cost 25 seconds plus to your lap time, which means that drivers within reach will be taken and hold that position. And the sprint race, you don't have to pit. There's no mandatory pit on this. You do not have to use 2 sets of tyres. So it is all about getting the track position and holding it. So we will be waiting to see get the cars ready for their formation lap. So we can see Apex has got first, that's 6. is in second, Harris in third, James Strapp in fourth, Carter in fifth, Quadruti in sixth, LH44 in seventh, Rayner in eighth. That's the Gaia grid that we've got reversed. So it's top 8 got reversed. Benjamin, Cardiff, Cairo, Greg Savant, Sizen, Dragon on Speed, Drew, Maverick, Jason Woodhouse and Devil's Nightmare have taken the following spots. So as you can see that we have James Sadway has been disqualified from the warm-up lap like a naughty boy. He was sitting on the grid waiting to join. They're coming down the old pit straight to warm up their tyres. They are wiggling, trying to drive as much heat as they can into those tyres. Let's have a look to see what tyres they are using. Like I said, they're all using hard. Those hard tyres that they saved from not using them in the previous race, they are now ready to use them in the sprint race. In these 11 laps, we are not expecting one single pit. But if someone takes a wing off, they'll have to go in. This particular course is not a high downforce course, yet it's not a low downforce course either. It's not even in the middle. It's bizarre because it's been designed in such a way that if you're sitting in the middle, you are at a disadvantage. But if you decide to give yourself a bit extra downforce, you will find the corners quicker, but you will lose out on the straights. So if you take off some of the downforce off, you will be getting a better top speed, but not handling so well in the straights. Which one do you pick? You pick and you go towards your weaker side. And with that, we are building into the grid. So we're waiting for all the drivers to be ready. All 17 of our drivers are in position. We are waiting for the lights. So we're going to watch their position changes. Let's see who makes the big moves. And we've got 5 red lights. They're out, and away we go, guys. This is our second race and there's a bit of a wiggle on from Carter P, I believe that was. Bit twisting, knocked a few drivers, and more drivers have gone wide. Let's drop down, back down. Let's have a look to see who. It is hectic out there. I cannot see who is the ones that have gone wide. I can see that Cairo has spun out at tier 3. Any damaged wings? I know we've got Sizen who has spun off at Brooklands. Craig Savant has dropped 4 places. Maverick's up by 1. Dragon on Speed has not changed a single position. Devil's Nightmare is up 5. Jason Woodhouse is up 5. Drew is up 4. Benjamin Cardiff is where he started. Carter P is down by 3. He did have that little bit of a twist and oh no, that's Quadruti. Quadruti has gone off at Maggots and Beckett's. Is that a puncture tyre that I see? Is it? I don't think it is. But it did look like it at first. We will see if he goes into the pit, we will know if it's a puncture tyre or not. He is losing a bit of pace. Oh no, it doesn't look like it's a puncture tyre. So Rena is in the lead. That's a fantastic move by Rrl. Oh, sorry. This is at the graphics again, because Rrl is not in the lead at all. Right. So while we wait for things to sort themselves out, correct Savant, it's got a penalty for multiple warnings. Track limits again, guys. That's so we've got a runner in front, top to bottom. So we've got Apex, followed very closely by Harris. Harris had a very good beginning in the last race, so expecting good performance from him today. LH44 giving a bit of breathing space to the front runners, but he won't let them get out of reach too far. Rrl in 4, sitting right behind LH44, his teammate. These two are fantastic drivers. They do respect each other quite a lot, and they will work together to get hunt down those front runners. Stead 6 is there right behind Rrl as they all come into the Rrl chicane, clipping that red curb on Club and Rrl could see you get a time penalty. James Straff is 6, a little bit of a wiggle, but he's good. DRS has been enabled, so we could be seeing some overtaking very, very soon. Quadruti pulled the fastest lap of 1:42.3. That's fantastic for Quadruti. A recovery drive is bound to happen for him. Carter is 2 seconds behind James Straff, so front runners are still quite close together. Jason Woodhouse less than a second behind Carter. He will get DRS. Nigel Cardiff, Devils Nightmare right behind Nigel Cardiff as they come into Brooklands. We're expecting Devil's Nightmare to make another 2, but if he can make up another 2 places, he will be in the points and scoring the first points for Trident. Dragon on speed, sitting closely behind Devil's Nightmare, just waiting for any mistakes that may happen to pounce. Maverick, a strong driver, just had a bit of rotten luck lately. Drew going a little bit wide on these corners. He could be facing some penalties if this continues. Greg Savant behind Drew. Another recovery drive for Correct Savant by the looks of it. Sizen dropped a few places. Caro and Quadruti having a little bit of battle here at Stowe Corner. It's great to see that a lot of these drivers are quite respectful, because you do expect some drivers to post a dive bomb into the Rrl chicane, because they know, if you get your nose in front of that other person's car, you are getting that corner, you are getting that position. It just takes a bit of guts, a bit of confidence, and a sweeping fast move into that corner, braking hard, turning tight left, and you will hold that position. As we see, Correct Savant has dropped back even further. A few back corners. Correct Savant has got a habit of making a hash of turn 1 and 2. I do apologise if I offend you, Correct Savant, but that corner is definitely not your friend today. Quadruti still looking to pass Cairo. Cairo is a strong driver. Both these drivers should not be down here. Now we should Correct Savant. And it looks like Cairo's gone wide, and Quadruti was unable to capitalise on that mistake. Truro with a 3-second penalty. This is why we have track limits, guys. You've got to stay on it. Maverick still poised, waiting for Dragon on Speed to make it. Dragon on Speed is making his move, and he's posted past Benjamin Cardiff. Fantastic move, and he's onto the back of LH44, which I would like to wonder how LH44 ended up in this predicament. Has he pitted? Nope, we've not had a single pit yet, and I do expect we may have one or two depending on where everybody is situated. LH44 making a move. He is at 8, but he is switching places back and forth with Carter. Has he got it stuck? He's made it stick. Devil's Nightmare in 7th. This is a jump up by 10 places. He is closely following Jason Woodhouse, who's done the same kind of improvement. But this could be the first point for Trident. Jason Woodhouse with a great drive. Jason Woodhouse in that column is making a great stride to try and close that gap down for the front runners. Jim Strav in the Sauber team car is doing fantastic, keeping an eye on the front four. Stead's right behind Apex. Apex has dropped down 2 places, so Stead, so these guys were start at 1 and 2. Reina up 6 places, is sitting in 2nd with Harris in 1st. This is like a replay of the last race. This is what Reina was looking at. And Reina's got a 3-second time penalty for cutting that cut at Space chicane, and it is very brutal, and the stewards are very harsh on you for that. So Reina with 6-second penalty. He would have to get in front of Harris and gain 3 seconds to hold that place. Right now he could be looking at a drop down to 5th. That would take him off the podium, take a lot of points out of his pockets. It's just unfortunate that this is happening. It looks like it could. No. Is Apex going to make a move on Reina? No, Stead wants him to do it. Stead's close to Apex and wanting Apex to either make the move or move over. Stead looked for the possibility of an overtake, but it wasn't going to happen at this corner. As we go through Cops, we're going into Maggots and Beckett's. The left, right of these five corners. Maggots, Beckett and Chapel onto the hanger straight, and the gap is tightening. Drew with another 3-second penalty. Sig sending it. Is he going to send it? Oh, he's backed off. I would not have backed out. The space was there. Apex left the space. Apex was very friendly and very respectful and left the space. Both drivers giving each other a bit of breathing space to get round. Bail chicane without any kind of incident, but Stead had to brake a little bit harder to give the place back to Apex. And he seems to be a little bit fading there, but this battle is not over. Drew has spun out. He is had quite a few penalties. Kyra has DNF'd. I think Drew is he decided not. No, he's carrying on. Drew is carrying on. Sizen closing in on Maverick. Maverick's locked up into the loop. Down around the straight. Sizen seems to be losing Maverick when he got into the straight, but he's now closing back up. Craig Savard is watching the back of Quadriti. Quadriti just a little bit ahead of him. Quadriti right behind Benjamin Cardiff, not close enough to make a move, but he is there. Benjamin Cardiff watching Dragon on speed go around. Cops now go into Maggots and Beckett. Last time I seen Maggott and Beckett at the old form was back in 2005. 2005 they had the 1.10, so that you had Maggott's was a left-hander and Beckett's was a right-hander. Quadriti just makes a move on Benjamin Cardiff at the Vale chicane. A bit on the outside of the first corner, he made a move and it stuck. Configuration changes on Silverstone itself has changed quite a lot. They've changed the course immensely. If you look at the original setup and a few setups after that, you could see that even before 1950, when the first F1 Grand Prix was ever held, Silverstone was very different from what it is. So Quadriti's made a great move, and is now looking to make a move on to Dragon on Speed and close that gap. LH44 looking at Devil's Nightmare. Devil's Nightmare having a very good race. Yes, there's penalties, but we will overlook them for the driving experience. LH44 has got to be careful of cutting those corners. We do not want to see any more penalties for him, because he is a front runner. He is one of the top spaces of the league, and we do want to see him perform well and hold that difference. Jason Woodhouse is doing a fantastic job holding that position. He is 2.4 seconds behind Jim Shaft, but is closing it quite quick, and roughly about 2.4 seconds in front of LH. LH has made a move at the Vale chicane and corner, and has made it stick, and got past Devil's Nightmare. Devil's Nightmare has no answer. He's fading so fast. Instead is Apex. He should have DRS here. I should be closing that gap down even more. He will be taking chunks off that side. Keep him within Apex. Correct Savant is 0.8 seconds, 0.9 seconds behind Benjamin Cardiff. So within the DRS zone, they're not close enough to actually make a move. Just over half a second away. Jim Starr with a 3-second penalty. Only driving out with a penalty so far is Jason Woodhouse. So Harris with 3 seconds, Rayner with 6 seconds, Apex with 3 seconds, 6 seconds, Jim Starr with 3 seconds, LH44 with 6, Devil's Nightmare with 9, Carter with 6, Dragon with 3, Quadriti with 3, Benjamin Cardiff with 3, Correct Savant with 9, Sizen with 3, Maverick with 3, Drew with 12. See, with everybody having bits of penalties, it's going to be tougher to work out at the end of the race who exactly is where, because you're going to have to add seconds on everybody. At this rate, you could actually see that Jason Woodhouse could end up having a podium spot, which he is 6.2 seconds behind the leader, which means he will get second. He will get second at the end of this race, and then we've got 1.5 laps to go. Jim Strapp will have a podium at this race, and if Harris puts another 3 seconds on his, he will take first. I'm actually going to watch Harris, because I do think Harris is coming up to Maggott and Beckett. He could be that's tight. He is easing off. He knows he's got 3 seconds over. Raider, he knows he's in the lead. He doesn't want to give himself any more penalties. He knows he's got it. Maverick with another 3 seconds penalty. Harris has got to be careful here. He could be losing it. Apex instead of battling out. They both got the same kind of same penalties, so no matter what, if Apex makes a move instead, if Stead makes a move on Apex, then that will stick. But Jim Sharp, Jim Sharp's got 3 penalties, 3-second penalties. Jim Sharp should get a podium. He should 3 seconds. He might get Jason Woodhouse has got a penalty. Jason Woodhouse has got a penalty. He has just taken himself off the podium. How unfortunate. Jason Woodhouse taken himself off the podium. That's unbelievable. And Vader wants to make this stick. He wants to make this move stick. Yeah, it might not mean anything on course, but he wants that position. He wants to cross that line there. On the track, he wants to be the best driver. But he'd rather finish than lose it. So every Maverick on 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. Absolutely unrighteous penalty. Maverick is retired from the session. That would be too many penalties. He realised he couldn't do it and he backed out. Carter with a 3-second penalty. Every driver had a penalty today. But cutting corners mainly. Rayner got the fastest lap of a 140.8. Nice drive from Rayner. As we see the finish standings, like I said, Jim Sharp will get a podium and he's got it. He's got third. So we got Harris in first, Rayner in second, Jim Sharp in third, Jason Woodhouse in fourth, Apex in fifth, Stead 6 and 6, LH 44 in 7th, Dragon off Speed with 8th, and outside the points is the Devil's Nightmare, tried at missing out by 1 place for points. Jason Woodhouse given the driver of the day. He did make leaps and bounds to get where he was. Unfortunately, Joe made himself move out of a possible podium finish. Well, while we think about that, we will see our drivers celebrate on the podium, and we'll say good night. And that's the end of round 13 and round 14, and we will be expecting you next week with our next round. Please, drivers, if you're listening, please put your comments in and give congratulations to our other drivers who've done really well today. Have a chat about the race to see how you did, and yeah, put your vote in for your driver of the day on the group chat, and we'll speak very soon. Thank you, and that's me out.